Wow, spoiler alerts guys, who would thought that Panda would be checking out another Magic series this season? Seriously, it just happens like that where it's just like, the series that interest me are like the ones that involve magic somehow. Like, it keeps like a revolving door, man. Just give me more of that stuff, that's just more what I'm into. But the first episode of Radiant came out this season that caught my eye, and so I'm going to give like my first impression of it, which, by the way, I thought it was a fine first episode, settings and stuff. Like, there's some weird stuff with this episode and a lot going on in the background with this show, so let's talk about the main reason that I wanted to check this out, and the fact that this is the first time that I believe a French mangaka or a French author got one of his works into it. Now, the only one I know that had a similar thing happen is Del Toro Quest. I believe she was an American author that actually got her stuff adapted into an anime because kids loved anime, and she was like, sure, I can turn my series into this, and like kind of approached an anime studio. And when I'm looking at this, I know that Radiant is still ongoing as a manga at this point, but it's like, when I looked at it and I was seeing a bunch of hella unique designs like with the exception of the main protagonist, like, because he's just straight up like he's your normal looking like a protagonist, like from what you can see on there, but with this weird stuff with like these sky islands roaming around. It was like, it felt like a proper JRPG world with some of the stuff that was going around with it, and like especially with the colors, and it just a lot of like how characters are either designed and looked mixed in with like the world and all that kind of really got me interested with this one. But our main character is Seth, who is a young, inspiring sorcerer. Sorcerers in this kind of series are more treated with kind of fear, as they are people that have been like touched by like these massive things known as nemesis, who have survived contact with them, which are our main monster of the week. So what we get to see that fall from the sky, and people cannot tell and all that whether or not these are things that like the god themselves send down to punish us, or whether or not these are just demons out there just to kill people. And Seth, like from what we can see from that, is being trained by this old crotchety old one-armed woman known as like Alma, who is terrifying. She is horrifying, like for the most part. She's like kind of always beating the crap out of him, and like always like even when he's trying to do a spider good, because you can tell that he can do magic, or at least tiny parts of it. It's just that his whole specialty is this wind thing that he can do, like the Titan's Punch, I believe it was called, and that's all he can really do at the moment from what we see in the series. And it's like, okay, so you're going to be like a Natsu punchy wizard kind of sort of scenario with him. He's going to be more melee kind of crossed. Again, like I don't know too much how far he progresses, but from what we can tell with like sorcerers have all kinds of things like on there, to like the magic wands, to like all kind of long range stuff. Like you can tell from that, but he's a bit of a fuck up, and even you can interesting enough, which is one thing I want to talk about Seth, and that is his voice actor. There's another thing going on with like kind of the similar thing with Black Clover, where the person that like Seth looks like he's 16, like right, but maybe 70. Like he looks quite older than he actually originally looks in the manga. And I was surprised by his voice actor or actress, I should say, because of the fact that it's really high pitched. Like I was shocked by that. I'm like, wait, who is it? And then I looked at the voice actress, and I'm like, she is modernly like kind of new. She's done a couple of newish roles for the most part. Like honestly, her most notable credits that she's done has been like one of the side characters, adding up into like stuff like Overlord. I believe she was the main girl in like Eurocamp. Like I believe she was like the pink-haired girl in that. And I'm like, not a huge track record. Like same thing that can be said with the guy that did Aster and Black Clover. So I was a bit worried at that, but like it is not the same way like how it was with Aster in the first episode. But again, I felt the voice didn't suit the design a little bit. It was kind of weird. It's like, if this was like a much younger kid, which we see a flashback of how him and Al met, I would understand that kind of voice on them. But it's just it's a very small nitpick, which leads into like the whole sort of island hating both Alma and Seth, and they want nothing to do with it. How they have this one boy that kind of like actually likes Seth, and they kind of hang out and they shoot the shit, which leads into one thing which like Seth kind of wants to become like sort of this sort of hunter thing, where it's like most of the sorcerers do take care of this because they're the only way, and his seemingly aspirations right now is to defeat a lot of these nightmares, so he can show everyone, hey, being a sorcerer is awesome. You can do all these kinds of things, like you can take care of them, which involves with a nemesis egg falling down, which this Studio Ghibli-like big plump thing just comes out with the mask and just starts like wreaking havoc, and Alma's away at the moment taking care of another business, because you can even see in the opening, he's like, oh, it looks like she's actually a badass sorceress. Like, she can pull some real crazy stuff with this Naginata that she has, which I'm like, alright, I look forward to hopefully finding out more about you like, at some point. And Seth gets his ass kicked from this thing, which, like, you find at the end of the episode some other sorcerers come, this very weird group. There is some buff-looking old dude in, like, a wrestling outfit with a wizard hat, and I'm like, alright, sure. Introduce me these kooky characters. Like, the first episode was, like, ended right there at the fight, so there is nothing that you haven't seen before on there. It's just under like a bunch of weird kind of designs for the most part, and also as well we're gonna be seeing this from a lens of like someone who is just clearly a big fan of Japanese material, like of Japanese shonen stuff, and I'm curious to see where exactly that is going to lead. Again, I haven't read the manga or anything. I don't even know if it's like a monthly basis, like if it's like weekly, or if they just publish like volumes like that. Like, so I am curious to let me know, people can let me know in the comment section down below, because I believe Volume 1, as of this recording, and I think Volume 2 is like the ones that are translated in English at the moment, since obviously it's straight to like French and then Japanese as well, so I'm going to definitely be reading. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be doing with them just watching this as an anime only, or I'm going to check out the manga in some way. I probably might. I'm definitely, when those volumes arrive, I'm going to give it a little bit of a read and see how it is and all that compared to the source material. But it seemed decent and all that. I'd imagine this would be Chapter 1 for the most part, getting your set up with the whole world and everything. Again, you're not gonna be blown away by this. I will say that right now. If anything, it was like a 6.5. Like, it was fine. Like, it was a fine first start in the episode. Honestly, I just liked a lot of the things going on in the background. This is the first time I believe Lurch has really tried a full like shonen kind of esque series for the most part. So I'm interested in how the studio's gonna be handling it. And again, it's going to be 21 episodes, so I think they know at least what they want to cover. This is the amount that they got, so it doesn't seem like we're going to have a lot of meandering and padding from what looks like, hopefully. Again, like, we don't know. It depends how big the source material is and how much they want to dig into it. So, I mean, I trust them. They did stuff like Assassination's Classroom, and they also did stuff like their only real track record that I've seen is Assassination's Classroom and Monster Musume. So, we'll have to see what the studio is like for the most part. But again, it looks fine. It wasn't an animation-wise, it wasn't a heavy blown-up episode in any kind of way, but I would rather have a consistently looking decent than have those amazing episodes every 2 minutes, like every blue moon, and a lot of the time it looks below average to bad, like the Black Clover anime does a lot of the time. So that's all from me though. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.